actually have a few more thoughts on practice. So when most musicians start, you start off with those lesson books that have one line to a page, and you cross off like 4 to 8 measures at a time. And then eventually the pieces get longer and longer. And then there comes a day when you have a solo that's 2 pages. And if you don't change your practice style away from, I'm going to start at the beginning and go to the end, you're going to waste a lot of time. So this is another like super tip for efficient practicing. The parts that are easy, just review them and don't spend nearly as much time on them as the hard parts. So the parts that you trip over, the parts where the tempo breaks down or you flub a fingering, you know where they are, and that's where your teacher always stops you and says, oh, we're going to dig into this. So if your teacher gives you like a plan and say, okay, next week we want to master these 2 measures and I want to see this specific thing for next week. When you leave your lesson, write those things down as though, hey, here's my goal list. If your teacher isn't that goal oriented and you can't really extract something that specific, do this on your own. Be kind of self-driven about it. And when you play through, say, well, here's where I feel not so confident about it. Here's where I'm afraid I'm going to mess up. Here's where I just don't like the sound of it. Write those things down and be really focused on what your goals are when you start to practice. Now, some people will say it's kind of like sacrilegious to take an art like music and turn it into just like a chore list. But it does not, these aren't chores. This is mastery of the skill so that you can really enjoy the art that's inherent in all music that we make. So those are a few more thoughts on super efficient practicing.